It's another episode of my Build an Online Business from Scratch series. Last time I covered finding your dream 100. This is a list of, roughly 100 other influencers in your niche whom you could potentially collaborate with or just learn from when it comes to creating content. So now I'm going to use this list to come up with content ideas for my own brand. So I didn't quite find 100 influencers. I got to 78. Because I'm planning on probably finding a lot more influencers later. For example, this is mostly just YouTube, a few blogs. So I know there's a ton of probably more blogs and maybe even YouTube channels potentially in my niche. So I still have to go through that and find more bloggers. But I'm taking the approach of getting to creating content is kind of the most important part of growing your business. So I can do more of that. I'll be finding more people naturally as I'm immersing myself in my niche. So I'm kind of just leaving that open here. And now it's time to move on to creating content. Before you can create content, obviously you have to come up with topics or ideas for content. What are you going to create your content about? And if you've looked up any videos on YouTube or maybe looked up blog posts for how to find content ideas, there's a lot of different advice out there. And this is advice that I've followed for a long time. So it could be just like you read a book and then you maybe you could create a video or a piece of content about maybe each chapter that's in that book, or maybe you watch a video, or if you're at a live event, just basically anywhere where you're learning something you could then teach on that piece of content. And that's all well and good, but if you're wanting to actually have content that ranks and actually you're getting free traffic from Google, from YouTube, from these search engines, then you have to create a very specific type of content. You have to create content that is actually the content that people are actually searching on and can actually be found. Now that's more for blogging. YouTube's a little bit different, but that would be a whole separate video on how to grow a YouTube channel. And this is something I'm still learning myself, obviously, since I'm just starting a channel. But my understanding is a good place to start with YouTube, finding content for YouTube, is to find other channels in your niche, number one. And you're gonna look at what content are they creating that is doing well to get kind of some inspiration. So here are all my influencers. Most of them are YouTube here. So I'm gonna sort, first off, sort these by order of most subscribers to least. And what you wanna do is you wanna look for these smaller channels. So basically under 100,000 subscribers. And you're gonna wanna look at their content, because all the larger channels, your data is going to be a little bit skewed because they have so many subscribers. A lot of their views on their videos could be coming from their subscribers. So what you want to do is you want to look at the smaller channels, and then you want to find their videos that are kind of overachieving, doing better than most of their other topics within the past year. So it's recent, within the past year, it's a smaller channel and it's doing better than all their other videos. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna look through these different channels and see if I can find some good content ideas. All right, so here's a channel right here, right at the 100,000 subscriber mark. And so I'm gonna go to videos, and then I'm gonna sort by most popular. So her top video is a beat she did for Andrew Huang, who's another influencer, actually one of the largest influencers in this niche. So I'm definitely not going to count that one, because that's probably why it got a big boost in views, is from his audience, and also it's 2 years old. That's not too bad, because 2 years is still fairly recent. So 5 things to start making electronic music at home. That's actually a really good topic, and that just kind of fits like a general topic that I'd like to cover with my brand and my niche, because that's kind of like a fundamental place to start. How do you make electronic music? Because that's what I'm covering and teaching on, how to make electronic music. So I'm going to go ahead and go to video ideas. I might want to actually duplicate this. So I have another tab here. And these are some past video ideas I've found, kind of came up with in my head that I haven't really done a lot of research on yet. So I'm going to start putting that in here, down here. So we have 5 things to start making electronic music at home. So I'm just going to write that in here. Maybe I will do more than 5, but I'm just putting in the title here just as a starting point. So here's a good one. So again, it's recent. So 5 of my favorite lo-fi plugins. So I think I'm now going to move down to the lower end of the spectrum as far as subscribers goes, to hopefully find some more of those gems, because again, with more subscribers, it can be a little bit tainted on where the views are coming. Where if it's a smaller YouTuber and they have a lot of views, you know it's because it's a good video that YouTube pushed out. All right, so this YouTuber just doesn't have that many videos, so I'm gonna remove that. All right, so here's another good one. So my Spotify release strategy that got me 100,000 streams by getting on Spotify's Fresh Finds playlist. All right, so I'm gonna continue following the strategy until I have kind of a big list of content ideas. I'll see if I can get to a list of 100, and then I'm going to dive in and start creating content. Google's a lot different. You want to, on YouTube you can get away with broader topics, but on Google, since there's so much competition, you have to be very precise and very specific on what you want to look for. So let's just start with, and we're going to use a method called Google Alphabet Soup. So we'll start by typing in a keyword phrase in our niche. So I might say how to mix. So this is actually best to do in incognito mode, so it doesn't isn't biased by any of your previous searches. So let's do Google, and let's say, I'll just say how to mix. And so obviously we're getting non-audio terms here, so we'll want to avoid that. So how to mix music, songs, vocals. So you can see these are some things we might want to do, how to mix vocals. But that's probably going to be very, it's a very big topic that probably lots of people have done. There's probably a lot of competition for that. So let's find some less competitive terms by using the different letters of the alphabet. Maybe I would want to do music mixing, how to mix, and then A. So we got how to mix and master, how to mix audio download. So we can try now B, how to mix bass, C, how to mix chill, country club, classic rock. So there are all these different ideas for how to mix different things. So let's do another term. So EQ is a thing in audio. So EQ in audio, how to EQ. So equalizer in audio, how to EQ home. Interface. And let's just type in how to mix synthwave now, because that's kind of a unique genre that I like to make. So we got bassline, retro wave. Let's just go music production tips. So we got tips and tricks, techniques and concepts, arrangement tips, beginner tips, beat music production tips, bass music production. So you can see got all kinds of tips here. Just by going through basically the alphabet. So let's look at how to get better at mixing music. So got some ads here, and here we go. Here's the top result. So 9 tips to help you turn a good mix into a great mix. So then this is kind of the kind of content that you're going to look at and see, can I do better than this? And this is a pretty reputable source in this industry. So right there, if it's very authoritative, it might be hard to beat. That said, this is a shorter article and there's no pictures or anything. So no tables or videos or anything. So if you have more media forms in your blog post, that will make it more valuable and can help it rank higher. Also just a longer, more valuable post. So this might be something I want to try and beat. So 9 tips to help you turn a good mix into a great mix. So I could also give more tips, maybe 12 tips or something. So this is what you want to go through to find different tips for content or different ideas for content. And then you can also look at people also ask. So how can I improve my mixing skills? And so this is what you want to start with. You want to actually create content on terms people are searching for on Google. And then that way you know for sure your content will show up for people. Now what page of Google it shows up on, that's just a matter of how good your content is and maybe how authoritative your site is. And creating an authoritative site, that's an entirely separate topic that maybe I'll cover in another episode. But you can look here to get ideas for content, and then also at the bottom there's more related searches. All right, so I'm gonna do this for a while. I'm gonna go through my Dream 100, look at their content, and also just kind of go down the rabbit hole of different terms in my industry to find good ideas for content. and then hopefully I'll create a big list that I can go ahead and start creating. All right, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos in this series where I document my journey towards building a full-time income through my online business in just 2 years.